bit of an update for today then. Today was paperwork day. It was the reason my Auntie Mandy was here and my wonderful grandmother was here to help us with all the boring legal and general things that you just don't want anything to do with. So that's done. Then we kind of went for a break because, it's like now. And it finally started raining. And I mean, this is the first proper rain we've had. So we had to nip outside really quickly and put some tarpaulin down on the sheds, basically the floor of the sheds, because that's where they're going to put the concrete. You can kind of see the chute. Yeah, that's going to be dry by Monday. So we have a full day of rain today and then a half day of rain tomorrow, which is Sunday, and then hopefully it's going to be dry on Monday. So we just kind of have to hope that the tarpaulin's going to do its job. I'm not so sure because the chute is acting as a water slide directly into the middle of the concrete base. So I'm okay. Anyway, so we've had the electrician come round. Finally had the electrician come round. He's going to be with us in 3 weeks. Only there's a caveat to that. What he basically said to me was, every room they want to work in has to be clear and finished. Finished. Right. That's my bedroom, the big one, the Star Wars room, the small one, and the kitchen. So the wallpaper in the kitchen needs to be off. The new tiles need to be on. The new colour for the walls needs to be on. The paint needs to be stripped from the old walls. The floor needs to be taken up. The carpet in the living room, because the living room needs doing as well, that needs to be out. And all the furniture needs to have disappeared. Yeah, basically is what I'm thinking, because it just sucks, because had he been with us 4 or 5 weeks ago, when we were just moving in, when we looked for an electrician, that would have been the case. It would have been a few boxes to be moved, not what it is now, where we are half unpacked, because we thought it wasn't happening for months and months and months. So, the plan. I love these plans. They keep changing like wildfire, but this is kind of this has to happen now plan, because otherwise I'm a bit screwed, to be honest. The concrete's going to go down on Monday. I think it's going to take a week to dry. It'll be a day or two to go solid, I imagine, but from what I know of concrete, it's about a week of good weather to dry, and this is not good weather. We are entering the rainy season now, and it's Wales, it's known for its rain. So, I mean, there's just something on my top bothering me. Yeah, so concrete dries. We're then going to get George and George Jr. to build the shed for us. That's going to go up straight away. Then all the stuff that's in the office at the moment, all the tools, are going to be removed from there and they're going to go into the shed. We're going to have to take one of the shelving units with it. The shelving units are just going to have to move. And I am praying that shed is big enough. I genuinely don't know how high that shelf is, whether it was picked with those shelving units in mind or not. But it's going to have to, because those tools are going to go on something. Mum wants to put the tools in plastic boxes. I think she's overestimating how many plastic boxes we have, but I'll do my best. The ones on the floor, at least, will be plastic boxes, just in case the rain gets in, which it shouldn't. But yeah, they're going to soak the shed pieces in, it's like a mix of car oil, a motor oil and something, and apparently it just it like hardens the wood, and it fills in the cracks and strengthens it, something like that. It's a bit like how the train oil goes into sleepers. Anyway, so that's going to happen. I don't know which order this is going to happen in, because stuff like that is down to the builders. It's down to what they can get when they can get it. But to be honest, we might have to push them on that, because I can't delay getting stuff out of the house. Because once the tools are out, it frees up the office again. And I'm just going to move every bit of art equipment from the gym into the office. That clears the gym out almost completely. Then everything, and I mean everything, from the living room is going into the gym. That includes that blooming sofa. That has to be moved. And I will be employing our lovely, lovely lads to lift that, because I can't shift it. Like, it's the heaviest sofa bed imaginable. It's a nightmare. So that's going to be moved. I'm then hoping to get the spare boxes of my brother's stuff and things like that also downstairs into the gym, or preferably into the office if I can, because my brother's not here for years and years yet. So his stuff can just be gotten out of the way while everything's being done. Then the plan is to move everything from the upstairs bedrooms into the gym. I think what's going to happen is the gym's going to be closed off again. It's just going to be full floor to ceiling. We won't be able to get in there. But that allows me to rip all the carpets up, get the paint off the walls in 3 rooms. God. It makes me want to cry. Yeah, I mean, the big girl's room, 2 of the 3 walls are wallpapered. The 2 wallpaper walls are coming off really quick. But the painted wall, I don't know about that one, to be honest. I'm going to take a steamer to it. I'm going to try. That's all I can do is try. But it might be a case of grabbing the builders and bringing them in just for the help to get it off, because it's 3 rooms I have to do on a deadline now, and I can't do the kitchen. It will not come off that wall. It's literally taking chunks of the wall with it every time we take a scraper to it, and it's had 3 rounds of that paint stripper stuff, and it's just coming off like glue. It's disgusting. It really is. And this is why you don't put paint on house walls, people. Or if you do the right paint, like the earthbound paint or the graphite paint, whatever, the good style paint that is built for that entire express purpose. It doesn't matter that it's expensive stuff. It works, and it doesn't cause issues like this, and your house can breathe, and then you don't get mold, and then you don't get sick. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit. It's a lot to do, but I'm going to breathe through it. I'm going to do it one bit at a time. I'm going to just pray nothing goes wrong and that everyone turns up as and when they need to. We have a bath coming at the end of this month. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. We need the old bath taken out. I mean, to be frankly honest, that could be done really soon because we don't use it. But I dread to think what's living under it. I really don't want to know. I had to tackle another big Bertha spider today. It was on my black teddy bear fleece jacket, which was hung up by the front door. Gave it to my grandma because she was cold. And I was talking to her in a chair, and I just saw it there, and I was like, oh. She saw my face, and she just went, oh. And I went, right, flick your jacket back, Gran, just flick it back. She got her arm up, flicked it over her shoulder, and then she just went, and threw it across the room. I was like, yes, that's exactly how that should have been dealt with. And then my mum picked the jacket up and went outside and just went, hee. I could see this big brown thing just go poof. God, it was big. Oh. But I was happy because I saw it drop, I saw it go off the jacket. And then my mum brought the jacket back inside. I mean, I still want to throw the jacket in the washing machine just to be safe. But that's just the fear talking. Oh, God. But yeah, as it gets colder, it's kind of drawing them all out now, which sucks. The heaters work, which is a good thing. We have the like some oil-based radiators now. They work, so Upstairs is warm for the first time. Downstairs is warm for the first time. Really warm. We can sleep like properly now. I mean, to be fair, there's no breeze upstairs in this house, which is really nice, because in the old house there was breeze from my windows all the time. It was constant, and I'd always get like chest infections. I'd get sick from it. So there's no breeze here. However, there is damp, and it's more prevalent as it gets wetter, the areas that we haven't gotten rid of it yet. The boys' room, because we've taken the wallpaper off now, that is trying desperately to dry out, and it kind of like smells like vaguely throughout the house every so often, because we've got a couple of windows open to help air it out. So yeah, I think yesterday I woke up with like a really like cold spot, usually where my lungs are, and I just know with me, when I feel that, it's like the start of a chest infection if I'm not careful. So I spent the entire day like bundled up with jackets, and I ate really warm food and soup, and I drank lime and lemon water and had honey in my tea, which I do anyway. So I went through a lot, and this morning I woke up and I had a tiny little bit of cold in my lungs, but nowhere near what I had the previous night. But I think the radiators have helped massively with that. So it was like a mild string of panic, because when I get sick, I get really sick. Like, I don't do things by halves. If I'm gonna have a chest infection, it'll be the worst chest infection ever, and I'll be laid up for an entire day, and I have a lot of work to do, so I can't have that. Yeah, I can't have a day off here. Not now, not as it's getting colder. So tomorrow, it is chucking it down. We don't really have a plan before the shed goes up. I can't even really start moving things. So tomorrow's just kind of going to be a bit of a full of jitters day, I think. It's the best way of describing it. I want to get my mum's office out of my bedroom. She's brought something because she was working on paperwork and the cats have taken over. There's also a cat, I think, sitting on an important piece of paperwork. Oh, she's moved. But yeah, there's like important documents and stuff, and you know, the cats are coming soaking wet, and then they're just like, ooh, paper, just sit on this. Doesn't matter that it's important. I don't think that is important, actually. I think that's been dealt with, so it's probably for the scrap bin or whatever. But yeah, anyway. My other cat's on the bed, he's that orange blob. So yeah, we did get a lot of stuff done today. It doesn't feel like it. But honestly, there's just no plan for tomorrow, because we can't move forwards now until the builders do the next bit. The good news is the concrete's going down at 8 in the morning, and then because it's sort of a dry day again, I'll probably be out on the decking finishing that decking paint. We have one more can of the floor paint, which we've started pouring it on. I mean, you rolled it on, nothing happened. It did not go very far. The roller soaked it up, and then it goes so pale as it dries, because it has actually gone the colour I thought it would go as it's drying out. If you slosh it on like we did, it takes 48 hours to dry properly. But today with the rain, you can see the rain like beading on top of it instead of soaking through to the wood, so it's doing its job. It is a decking protection colour. So honestly, it's great. It obviously works. We just have to get it on the rest of the boards. But I think we're looking at another 4 or 5 cans if we slosh it on the way we're doing. But it halves, more than halves the painting time for it. And we get the colour we desire, and it covers all the cracks and the nooks and everything that irritates my mum, because she doesn't like white. So yeah, I'm probably going to do that. Just carry on with it. Get as far as I can, and then see if we can't find some more cans of it. To be fair, that's not the paint that's been had to source. That's at the Penrock Garden Centre. I'm sure my mum won't mind having another drive up that way, even if it is raining. It doesn't really matter. So I think actually that is something we could do tomorrow. we could go out and get supplies and stuff. Ooh, maybe we could go back to Newcastle Emlyn. What did I say the date was tomorrow? Sunday? We can't go to Newcastle Emlyn. That's shut on Sunday. We did that last time. I remembered we did that last time. We go to Newcastle Emlyn on Monday. I'm sure the builders won't mind because they'll be doing the concrete. They won't need us for that. But we can pick up the paint tomorrow. That is something we can do. Because Penrose will be open. I think there might be another garden centre as well we can check out. Oh, I need to nip over to B&M and see if they've got any more of that paint. Ha. They don't. They never have it. They've restocked every other colour except for that colour. It's really annoying me. But they just can't get it. In fact, it's a really popular colour. We have 2 cans left. We've worked out we can get around about 3.5 fence panels done, both sides, with one of those paint cans. And I counted out the fence panels. We're 1 short. We are 1 can short for the gate at the other end of the garden. But to be fair, I think I'll take that. If we can get it up to the gate, then yeah, the gate will be white, but it's not the end of the world. And the actual floor decking, the decking oil, is much easier to source. We could do the gate in the decking oil, to be fair. It's a similar colour. It's not miles off. So we could do it in that if it really irritates my mum, just to make it a similar colour. And then when that paint finally comes back into stock, we can just go over the top of it. Because it's a stain, so I imagine it'll go over decking oil. Actually, I have to think about that, would it? Depends what its base is. If it's plastic based, I think it will. If it's water based, it won't. I really need to look at that. I think it's plastic based because you can roll it on your fingers to get rid of it. Usually with water based paint, it comes off kind of like chalk. It doesn't roll into shapes. But I'm thinking art paint there. There can't be much difference. I think I'm right. I think it's plastic based. I should know that. I did take art. Art's probably the subject I've done for the longest. Yeah, I think I'm right about that. What else? Oh, I found a video camera I liked. Yeah, sent that to my mum for perusal. Don't know if she's bought that or not. I need to check with her. She got that for me. And I brought my earphones this morning. Absolutely gutted. I've got earphones come from Massdrop. If you don't know what Massdrop is, it's kind of like a techie website, but it's like they drop deals basically on different kinds of tech, and sometimes you can find some really, really great stuff at a really, really cheap price. They'll be like brand new, but they'll be like almost like leftover stock or something. So maybe there's a tiny scratch somewhere and they can't sell it, so it'll go on to Massdrop, and there'll be a blinding flash deal on it, and you can either bid or buy outright. Sometimes though they have stuff that's not even been made yet, like the next set of tech. Sometimes that comes on that site. It's a bit weird. It depends who's putting the stuff on, but yeah, if you keep checking it every so often, you can find some really great stuff. The only problem is it's kind of like ordering from China in a way, because it will take 6 to 8 months to get anything from them. So you order like a year in advance basically. But if you were ordering something that hasn't even come out yet, you could be waiting even longer. But I mean, at the time it was worth it for me. For my earphones were really good ones. They were brand new. I think the brand's NU, just NU. They were in-ear over the top like earphones, and they came with 2 extendable cables and a load of extra stuff I didn't really need. But honestly, in terms of sound quality, they were like bang on professional. So they've done me really well for 5 years now, 4 or 5 years, I think, and I use them every night to listen to videos before I go to bed. So no, they were really good. But yeah, this morning I took one out of my ear, and because you can detach the wire at the top, there's like a little plug that you plug the wire into. It's so you could change cables from like a flat cable to a braided cable. They came with both. But this time when I pulled it out, the actual plug came out with the wires instead of the actual earphone wire. So yeah, they broke. They still kind of work, but if I pull too hard, even by accident, the wire's going to come out of the right ear and it just won't. They'll stop working completely. So I'm a little bit gutted at that, because I said they did come from Mastrop. They took a year to get to me, but they lasted 5 years. You know, tit for tat. It was really good. So I sent a message to my brother, crying message. Everyone's broke. What do I do? And he got back to me at the end of the day with an essay and a new suggestion. And then I kind of looked at what he was looking at. He picked AliExpress this time, apparently. I don't know why. Because we don't normally do it through AliExpress, but for the same reason, it's 6 to 8, well, that's 6 to 8 weeks, isn't it, for AliExpress. It isn't as bad, but it's still coming from China. But I recognise the brand he sent me. I can't remember off the top of my head because it's a bunch of numbers and then some letters. Whatever. I remember DD1, something like Jay-Z, whatever. Anyway, I trust my brother because he knows a lot about headphones and earphones and tech in general. My brother's a techie. He just knows these things. He spends hours looking at it all, finding the best ear types and stuff. But he based this one off what my mum's got, apparently what he bought for my mother for Christmas. So he just said, yeah, they're still top of the market, so just go for these. So I kind of took what he gave me, looked at the delivery time, thought, I'm not waiting 6 weeks, I need them now. So I put it into eBay, like fully expecting to pay a phenomenal price for them or something. And I got 2 for 20 quid. Yeah, 5-day delivery. Yes, please. It's because they're end of line. They are the end of the previous generation's line. But according to like a load of reviews and stuff like that, they're still the better earbuds, sorry. Yeah. So my brother said they're still the best. They've just stopped making them because they've moved on to the next one, and then the next one and the next one. So they're like 3 generations back or something like that. But they still work perfectly fine. They're still brilliant. The ones I had before were the 4th generation back of I think it's the same brand, I'm pretty sure. Or it's a similar brand. So yeah, as long as you don't want like the newest thing, which to be frankly honest, the newest thing's not always the best anyway. Sometimes it's better to just, hang back a bit and see what worked. Because I can tell you now, my MP3 player from like 2005, the big thick brick things, that still works, right? And it has a better memory and a better storage capacity than my new one. And I never had to reset it because it froze or something like that, or overheated or whatever. Stuff back then was just built to last. And it was, it's a brick. Yeah, I could knock someone out with it, but it was great, So I miss some of the old tech. It just worked. Nowadays they're just designed to break, because that means you'll have to go out and get another one, and you'll have to spend your money and buy more. Like, it's why I hate Apple. Like, I hate Apple products so much, because you are buying into a business and you are then stuck with that business, because Apple products will not work with anything else. You need to buy Apple software and then the Apple editions. And at universities they had this thing where they'd switch the Apple with Microsoft on one of the computers, and they'd pay for the privilege to have both. And I was like, why? Just why? And they had Apple MacBooks everywhere. Well, for someone like me who grew up with Windows, it's like, for fuck's sake, I cannot use these things. I don't even know what to do with them. And I know it's targeted for a creative audience or something like that. I'm sorry, I am a creative person. I do not understand Apple at all. It's expensive. It's what he says. I just like Microsoft because you're not buying in to anything. You can make something else work with Microsoft, whatever you want. And if you know how to program it, you can push it a little bit further. I just can't do that with Apple. I just couldn't get it to do anything that I want it to do. And I like organisational systems. I'm boring that way. I do like a little bit of a system. The filing system in Windows is wonderful. You know, yes, it breaks. Everything does. But when it's working, oh my gosh, I can find whatever it is I want so quickly. Couldn't find anything on that flaming Apple Mac I had to work on at university. Nothing. I lost so much of my coursework onto that thing, and it was in the ether. And all those flashy windows that you could scroll through. Stop. I mean, Windows did go through a phase where they were like, let's copy Apple and do the swishy window thing. I was like, no, stop it. I'm going to go back to the previous version. Back off. And ironically enough, they did bring out an update that then removed that function, which I thought was really funny because it means that other Windows users also agreed it was rubbish and they need to stop copying Apple because they don't need to. You know, I'm very happy to have two completely different companies, you know. Anyway, this is not what this video was about. It's because this was all about paperwork. Anyway, yes. So, I think tomorrow's going to be a shopping day of a type, just because I feel the need to be doing something. But as I said, I can't really start on anything other than ripping up the carpets. For a couple of rooms, that can be done right away. And now that we've got heat, I don't need to worry about like the carpets actually keeping things warm. Because honestly, that's not the only reason we kept them. It's just for the very minimal residual heat that they keep in. But we're going to keep the underlay down. The underlay's fine. It's probably the only new thing really that was thought properly. It's not been fitted properly. It's all over the place, and these like little cutouts of squares and triangles and whatever to fit corners. I'm just like, bodge job. But with underlay, honestly, I don't care. But we will fit the carpets properly. None of this missing a centimetre or whatever it is he's done around the corners and stuff like that. No, we'll fit it properly. My carpet is also due soon. Don't really know where that's going to go now because it does kind of need to come upstairs, but I was going to put it in the big girl's room, but with the electrician coming in now, it's completely changed all the plans. Yeah, it's the gym's just going to get full. There's no other way of doing it. Which sucks because it is a really nice space in there at the moment, but it's got to happen, hasn't it? Yeah. Right, I need to go convince my mum to remove her office from my bedroom. Because I'm not sleeping amongst papers. And I'm not being responsible for when the cats sit on them all. I'll probably talk to you guys tomorrow.